Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is early Monday morning. I am having quiet devotion time before the kids get on the road for their summer vacation. So if you are ready for a quick coffee date, but also one that I think will really help to propel your week, then stay tuned. Okay, so before we get started, I don't want to forget because I am so excited. Guess what I have for coffee today? I have been talking about this coffee since the very beginning of coffee dates. So this is the Joe brand coffee, Joe's Donut Store Blend, and it is my favorite everyday coffee. This is literally my favorite everyday coffee. It is a Donut Store Blend. It is a medium roast. It is from Joe Coffee, which is under the Paramount coffee company. I just had a brain freeze there, sorry. But this, I am so excited about it. I had to order it. I was not happy about that because I usually get it from TJ Maxx or Marshall's, but I did have to order it from Amazon. But it came in 2 days. You really can't beat that. But I am excited to try it again because it has been so long since I've been able to have it. And today I paired it with the International Delights Caramel Macchiato creamer. So we're gonna see. Okay, hold on. Yep, it's still lit. It's still. So I'm excited. But I did say that this is a part of my quiet time. It's early before the babies wake up because I want to make sure that I'm completely present as they're preparing to leave. As my mother-in-law's preparing to leave, so I want to be able to focus on that. So I got up a little early today and you know, asking God what I was supposed to read and share today. And he took me to Matthew 25 and verse 21. Matthew 25 verse 21. And it says, "His master said to him, 'Well done, good and faithful servant. You were faithful over a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Share your master's joy.'" So that's Matthew 25:21, and it's his master said to him, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You were faithful over a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Share your master's joy." Now, I'm sure that there are so many of you that have heard that verse, and if you haven't, I'll give you a quick backdrop. It is a parable from Jesus, and there are 3 servants that were given varying amounts of money by their master while their master was going to be away. And so some buried the money and did nothing with it. Some went out and doubled the money. And others also made a profit from the money, right, for their master. And so this particular one was the man with 2 talents, and he doubled the money, okay? And so his master was saying, "Well done. Well done. You have really been a good steward over this little bit, these 2 talents that I gave you, and you doubled that. So now I know that I can trust you with more." And so what I want to talk about today as we're preparing for this week is there are going to be opportunities for you to step up into responsibility, okay? So you're going to think, "Oh, I deserve this. I should be given this. I should be over this. God, have worked so hard for X, Y, Z." And God's like, "I need you to focus on the little. Show me what you can do there before you ask for the responsibility of much. Show me how you can be responsible for those little things, right? Because the reality is that nothing is little. Everything is seed. And if you know that everything is seed, then you understand that it always grows into something bigger. It has the potential to be great. Don't despise small beginnings. Take what has been given to you and multiply it. Make it greater. Nurture it. Pour into it. Invest in it. And so this week, when you're given opportunities to step up into responsibility, don't complain about it. Lean into it. Lean into it. Because if you've been asking God for certain things and you've been wondering why certain things have not come to pass, the question you have to ask yourself is, have I been a good steward of the small things, the things that seem minimal to me? Have I been a good steward of those? Can God trust me with more? Because a lot of times we like to think about the bounty and how it will make us feel and how we'll be able to do more, and how it will just elevate us. But that's not the proper mindset. It's not about the elevation of you. It's about the elevation of his glory in the earth. And once you begin to change your mind and you begin to tap into what you're actually supposed to be doing, then you can be a really good steward over the little, because you understand it's already great. It has the potential to be doubled, to be tripled, to be quadrupled, if you will take the time to invest in it and to step up into the responsibility of stewarding it well. When you're given those menial tasks, or you are looked over for a certain thing, but you're given something else to be responsible for, don't complain about it. And don't bury it. Don't say, well, I'm just going to protect this little bit. If that's all that I've got, and I just have to hoard it and I can't do anything with it, I just have to leave it as this. Don't do that. Invest in it. Nurture it. Steward it. Show God that you can be responsible for whatever he's giving you, and then take it and multiply it in the earth. That means sharing his word with multiple people so that it goes to even more. That means being good stewards with your gifts and talents, plugging into kingdom work, helping others, building others, right? That means that when you're talking about finances and you're giving, setting aside some to give to those who need it, right? It's not just for your account, it's for the kingdom of God. And so can you help someone else? Can you look out for someone else? So remember that those little 2 talents, those 2 talents was just this, like that seems like nothing. You can multiply it to make it double this week. You have to step up into your responsibility. You have to step up into your responsibility. Because sometimes you'll be the person that's given the 5 talents. What will you do then? If you have not taught yourself to be a good steward over the 2, what will you do with the 5? If you've learned at the level of 2, I need to nurture this, I need to work at this, I need to make sure that I'm doing everything that's pleasing to God with this bit, right? Excuse me. How do you know what you'll do with the 5? If you haven't learned at the level of 2. A lot of times we like to think, oh God, if you give me the $1 million, I will absolutely do everything I can to please you with it. I will absolutely give back to the needy. I will absolutely build that school you've been telling me to do. I will absolutely do these things. How do you know that? How do you know that? If right now you don't give. If right now your finances are in a mess because you don't steward them well, you kind of just spend as you get. How do you know that you will do what God has called you to do with the 1 million if you have not done what he's called you to do with the 200? This week, take the time to be grateful for the opportunity to steward 2 talents. So you can be prepared for when he gives you the 5 talents, the 10 talents, the 15, the 100. Take the time to be grateful for the opportunity to steward the 2. Because the reality is that once the new responsibilities come, you don't get to give them back. You don't get to give them back. So do well in this season. Do well at this level, so that when God begins to trust you with more, you're capable of handling it. You're not going to be overwhelmed, and you're not going to underperform. We think about the parable often as, who did the most, who tapped in the most. The reality is that it should be thought about as who tapped in well. Because I think that even if he made one more, that's a blessing. But the fact that he made double shows that he tapped in well. That he said, okay, I'm going to do what it takes to go above and beyond. I'm not just going to make a portion back. I'm going to make all of it back. I'm going to make all of it back. Not just a portion. I'm going to make all. And that is good stewardship. It's good stewardship. It's good stewardship. So, what is it that you have been given responsibility over that you kind of just put to the side? Or you've grumbled about, or you have overlooked its potential? What is it? This week, be intentional about stewarding all that's within your purview, all that's under your responsibility. Be intentional about that. Because what you don't want is to be the person in verse 24. Let's read 24. The man who had received 1 talent also approached and said, Master, I know you. You're a harsh man, reaping where you haven't sown and gathering where you haven't scattered seed. So I was afraid and went off and hid your talent in the ground. See, you have what is yours. His master replied to him, You evil, lazy servant. If you knew that I reap where I haven't sown and gather where I haven't scattered, then you should have deposited my money with the bankers, and I would have received my money back with interest when I returned. And verse 28, the master said, So take the talent from him and give it to the one who has 10 talents. For to everyone who has more will be given, and he will have more than enough. But from the one who doesn't have, even what he has will be taken away from him. Once he knows that he can trust you with more, he'll make sure you have more. But he cannot know that if you haven't done well with what he's already given you. The man with 1 talent thought he was being slick. Talking about, oh, I know you. I know you, player. You get stuff from places where you haven't sown, where you haven't put seed. I'm just going to give you your stuff back because I ain't trying to lose your money. But what it meant was, I don't care enough to do the work of nurturing your money. I don't care enough to do the work of growing your money. I don't care enough to do the responsibility piece of stewarding your money. It means I'm going to be lazy, put it to the side, and just be able to hand back what you had. But how does that make sense when he's like, you get money when you ain't even do nothing, bruh? So if you know that about your master, if you know that everything has a return unto him, then that means everything that he's given you should have a return unto him too. Everything you do should have a return unto him. Because again, remember, once he knows that he can give you more, that he can trust you with more, he'll always make sure that you have more. For to everyone who has, more will be given, and he will have more than enough. If he knows he can trust you, he'll get it to you. So, again, what are you going to do with the 2 talents? Are you ready to be trusted with 5? Are you ready to be trusted with 10? I don't know. You decide. So, that's it. That's all I have for this week. I'm so excited. I hope that you are enjoying your Monday so far. It's early for me. I am enjoying the quiet. I'm absolutely enjoying my coffee. So I hope that you have an amazing, amazing day and an amazing, amazing week. You can make it so. All right? Have a great day, pretty. Bye.